Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show?
With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Joey Harris, and we are broadcasting from makeshift studios in the shadow of South Central Virginia. Follow the show on Twitter and Blue Sky at Cup of Joe Pod. Email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. You can support the show at paypal.me/cupofjoepod. If you want to support me on Cash App or Venmo, you can get me at both places at The Joey Harris. And of course, folks, patreon.com/babykangaroomedia. For bonus episodes of the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show, the Joey Harris Super Show, the Green Room, Book Club Baristas, just $5 a month for all that and so much more. Hours of extra content, patreon.com/babykangaroomedia. As today we look at SummerSlam 2001 from the WWF. SummerSlam 2001 was shown on pay-per-view on August the 19th, 2001 from the Compaq Center in San Jose, California. There were 15,293 in attendance and the show did 570,000 pay-per-view buys. We start out with our intro. Jim Ross welcomes us to SummerSlam. He and Paul Heyman will be the announcers for the event. WWF Intercontinental Championship match. Lance Storm versus Edge. They lock up and vie for position. They trade hammerlocks, Edge with a flapjack, Storm thrown to the outside. They fight on the outside, back in, Edge hits a crossbody. He gets a 2 count. Edge thrown to the outside, they again fight outside. Storm attacks Edge with kicks, he slaps Edge. Storm with knee lifts. Edge with a roll up for a 2 count. Storm gets a 2 count himself. Storm continues to press Edge, they trade blows. They each get near falls. Storm attacks Edge in the corner. Storm with a victory roll for a 2 count. Storm with a chin lock, Storm with a backsplash for a 2 count, back and forth, Storm with an abdominal stretch, Edge catches Storm in midair, and power slams Storm, double count going, Edge with a series of 2 counts. Edge hits a cradle power bomb for another 2 count. Storm gets the half crab on, Edge gets to the ropes. Edge gets the half crab on Storm. Storm attempts to get out, and the referee gets taken down. Christian comes in and inadvertently spears Edge. Storm kicks Christian out and gets a close 2 count. Edge hits the Impaler DDT to pin Storm and become the new Intercontinental Champion. Edge leaves with the title and holding his ribs. Test and the Dudley Boys are shown in the back. Michael Cole asks Test why he turned his back on the WWF. Test says the WWF turned its back on them. He says the Dudley Boys were also turned on. He says Shane McMahon showed that he's a great boss. Lillian Garcia talks to Chris Jericho. He says that he's never beaten Rhino, but there's always the first time, and then puts down Stephanie McMahon. 6-man tag team match, Spike Dudley and the APA, Farouk and Bradshaw with Molly Holly versus Test and the Dudley Boys, Devon and Bubba Ray. Bubba and Farouk start, and Farouk beats Bubba down. Devon tagged in, and the Dudleys hit a neckbreaker to Farouk. Back and forth. Devon with a back elbow. Farouk with a spine buster. Test tagged in. Farouk runs Test into Bradshaw's foot. Bradshaw goes in and hits an elbow on Devon. Bradshaw gets trapped in the heel's corner. They beat Bradshaw down. He fights back and hits the DDT on Devon. The Dudleys double team Spike and throw him hard on the top rope. Bubba keeps up the assault on Spike. Test tagged in. He and Spike trade blows and Test hits a spine buster. Devon gets a table from under the ring. Spike gets a 2 count. Test attacks Spike. Bubba in and the Dudleys hit a flapjack for a 2 count. Devon comes in and hits a scoop slam on Spike. An APA chant goes out. Test and Bradshaw tagged in. Bradshaw cleans house. Double spine buster to Bubba. Bradshaw with a powerbomb to Test, but Bubba pulls Bradshaw off of Test. Spike goes for the Dudley dog on Test, but gets thrown through the setup table at ringside. Bradshaw hits the clothesline from hell, but referee Nick Patrick is distracted. Shane McMahon comes out and hits Bradshaw with a chair. Test gets the pin. Edge is congratulated in the back by other WWF superstars, including Matt Hardy and Lita, which is funny if you know the history of those three. Sean Stasiak comes in and asks Deborah if Steve Austin is around. Deborah tells him not to bother Austin and go kick some butt if he wants to impress Steve. Title for title, WWF Light Heavyweight Champion Tajiri versus WCW Cruiserweight Champion X-Pac. The bell rings and they circle each other. X-Pac with an arm drag, back and forth. Tajiri with a 2 count. X-Pac with a takedown. They trade blows. Tajiri with a flurry of offense on X-Pac. X-Pac with a modified enziguri. He follows it up with a spin kick and a surfboard. X-Pac with forearms to Tajiri. He hits Tajiri with a powerbomb. He misses a Bronco Buster and Tajiri hits a series of kicks. He gets a reverse elbow for a 2 count and gets the tarantula on. Tajiri with a crossbody, but X-Pac rolls through for a 2 count. X-Pac goes up top, but gets caught and Tajiri gets a series of 2 counts. X-Pac with a plancha to Tajiri on the outside. X-Pac hits the X Factor, but can't capitalize. A series of near falls by both men. Albert comes down the aisle. X-Pac with a spin kick to Tajiri. Tajiri hits Albert with the red mist, but X-Pac hits the X Factor to get the pin. He becomes a double champion. They show Saturn at WWF New York. He is still looking for Moppy. Please excuse me while I roll my eyes. Stephanie McMahon tells Rhino it's important that he takes out Chris Jericho. Then we get a flashback to what led to the next match, Chris Jericho versus Rhino with Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie and Rhino are booed when they come out. Jericho gets a great reaction when he comes out. The bell rings and they stare at each other. They lock up and drive to a corner. They break and exchange holds. Rhino with his shoulder block. Jericho attacks Rhino with chops. Jericho with a top rope elbow for a 2 count. Jericho goes for the walls of Jericho, but Rhino gets to the ropes. Jericho with a drop kick. Rhino goes to the outside. Jericho goes up top, but Stephanie grabs his legs. He shakes her off and jumps, but Rhino spears him in midair. Both wrestlers are down. Rhino gets Jericho in and gets a 2 count. Rhino drops Jericho on the top rope. Stephanie slaps Jericho while referee Tim White is distracted. Rhino with a body scissors. He follows it up with an airplane spin. Rhino stomps Jericho. He puts Jericho in a submission move. He then gets a sleeper on. Jericho is trying to fight out. Jericho with a roll up for a 2 count. Rhino comes back with a suplex. Rhino misses a splash when Jericho moves. A double count going. Both men are up at 9. They trade shots. Back and forth. Jericho with a foot to the face and a drop kick to Rhino. He covers, but Stephanie distracts the referee. Jericho comes over and kisses Stephanie. Jericho with a bulldog and a lion salt for a 2 count. Rhino with a spine buster. He puts the walls of Jericho on Jericho. A Y2J chant goes out. Jericho gets to the bottom rope. Jericho hits an enziguri. Rhino with a belly-to-belly suplex. Jericho moves on a gore attempt. Rhino hits the corner, and Jericho gets a 2 count before pulling Rhino into the walls of Jericho. And Rhino finally taps. Stephanie yells at Rhino. The Rock is shown backstage. William Regal stops Rock and asks him if he is okay after being attacked by Booker T on SmackDown. Rock says he is hurt but ready for Booker T. Shawn Stasiak tries to attack Rock but runs into a wall. They make Stasiak look so dumb here in this run. He had a lackluster run, his first run with the WWF, and recorded some people in the back and got fired over it, and it was just stupid. But then he goes to WCW and they then pick up the contract, yada, yada, yada. But they make him just look so bad. Why not just let the guy go, release him and all of that, or pay him off his contract, but don't make him just look dumb. But maybe he was all for it, a chance to redeem himself or to do what is asked. I don't know. It never fit right with me. WWF Hardcore Championship ladder match, Jeff Hardy versus Rob Van Dam. Hardy with a fantastic ovation when he comes out. They look at each other as the bell rings. They trade holds. Even pace match. RVD hip locked to the floor and Hardy springboards onto RVD. Hardy goes for a top rope move, but RVD moves and Hardy hits the barricade. RVD goes after a ladder. He grabs it and Hardy attacks RVD. Hardy brings the ladder into the ring. Hardy jumps on the ladder, driving it into RVD. Both wrestlers are down. Hardy attacks RVD. RVD puts Hardy in the Tree of Woe. RVD sets the ladders on some ropes and puts Hardy on it and splashes Hardy. RVD hits a spinning heel kick and a thrust kick to Hardy. He then leg drops Hardy on the ladder. Hardy baseball slides RVD with the ladder. Hardy sets the ladder up. RVD clotheslines Hardy off the ladder from the top rope. RVD puts the ladder onto Hardy and then back flips onto the ladder. RVD starts to climb the ladder. Hardy hits a top rope drop kick to knock RVD down, and RVD lands on Hardy as he falls. Hardy with the DDT. RVD moves on the swanton attempt. RVD misses a frog splash when Hardy moves. Hardy sets the ladder up. Both wrestlers are fighting on the ladder. RVD superplexes Hardy off the ladder. They both get up and fight on the ladder again. Hardy powerbombs RVD off the ladder. Hardy climbs the ladder and grabs the hook that is holding the belt. RVD removes the ladder and grabs Hardy. Hardy holding on to the hook. Hardy swinging. RVD misses a spinning heel kick, but Hardy falls anyway. Hardy climbs the ladder again, but RVD turns the ladder over and Hardy falls. RVD climbs up and grabs the title as he falls, and we have a new hardcore champion. Booker T and Shane are shown in the back, and Shane presents Booker with a pair of bookends made from the announce table that he put The Rock through. Booker dedicates his match to Shane. The Undertaker, his wife Sarah, and Kane are shown in the back. Undertaker and Kane are the WCW Tag Team Champions. Flashback to what led to the next match. Steel cage title for title match. WWF Tag Team Champions Diamond Dallas Page and Kanyon versus WCW Tag Team Champions The Undertaker and Kane with Sarah. Undertaker and Kane with a huge ovation as they come out. They take their time getting in, and Sarah padlocks the cage door shut. DDP and Kanyon try to escape right away. Kane and Undertaker drag them back in. Undertaker and Kane are both dominating. Undertaker and Kane beat DDP and Kanyon down. DDP tries to fight back and gets thrown into the corner. DDP throws Undertaker into the cage. He clotheslines Undertaker for a 2 count. Undertaker with a big boot and a right hand. Undertaker beats Kanyon down as DDP takes on Kane. Both DDP and Kanyon were thrown into the cage. Kanyon goes for a double axe handle on Kane, but Kane catches Kanyon and chokeslams him. Undertaker runs DDP into the cage. Kane picks Kanyon up and runs him into the corner as Undertaker clotheslines DDP repeatedly as he is trapped between the ropes and the cage. He finishes it with a big boot. This is just carnage. Kanyon takes out Undertaker. He hits Kane with a modified Famouser. DDP DDTs Undertaker. They try to escape but get caught. All 4 battle on the top rope. Kanyon escapes the cage. Undertaker unspooled a chain from the cage, lowering. DDP dominated by the Undertaker and Kane. Undertaker sidewalk slams DDP. They trade blows. Undertaker beats DDP down in the corner. Undertaker wraps the chain around DDP's neck and throws DDP into the cage. He tells DDP to leave and never come back and to never look at Sarah again. DDP starts to climb, but Undertaker grabs him and chokeslams DDP. Undertaker hits the last ride to get the pin, and we have new unified tag champions. Sarah berates the prone DDP after the match. Sean Stasiak tries to attack The Rock again. Flashback to what led to the next match, WWF Championship match, Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle. Angle with a great ovation. Austin with a mixed reaction, actually more boos than I thought he would get. They meet in the aisle and start to brawl. Austin chops Angle in the aisle. He throws Angle in and the bell rings. They trade blows. Austin chops Angle in the corner. Back and forth. A very even-paced match. Austin works on the leg of Angle. Angle counters into the ankle lock, and Austin gets to the ropes. Austin knocks Angle to the outside. They battle back inside before Angle gets dumped out again. Austin with a suplex. He slaps Angle. Austin with another suplex for a 2 count. Angle counters with a group of German suplexes. Austin gets to the ropes again. Angle drags Austin off and suplexes Austin again. Austin counters an Angle slam attempt with a shot to the kidneys of Angle. Angle fights out of a superplex attempt. Austin comes back and hits the superplex. Austin with a stunner for a 2 count. Austin argues with referee Earl Hebner about the stunner. He hits another one on Angle, who falls out of the ring. Austin runs Angle into the ring post repeatedly. Austin grabs the WWF Championship, but Hebner takes it away. Angle ran into the post again. Austin hits Angle repeatedly. Austin throws Angle back in and gets a close 2 count. It goes outside again. Angle ran into the announce desk, and his face is a bloody mess. Angle throws Austin over the barricade. Austin suplexes Angle over the railing. They fight out in the crowd. Austin dumps Angle back to ringside, and as Austin was coming over, Angle grabs his ankle and put the ankle lock on. Hebner finally gets Angle to break. He pulls Austin back into the ring and reapplies the hold, but Austin gets to the ropes. They go back out, and Angle hits a belly-to-belly suplex. Austin goes for a shot, but Angle ducks and hits a belly-to-back suplex. Austin ran into the Spanish announce table. Austin throws him back into the ring. Angle hits a moonsault for a close 2 count. Austin gets the Cobra Clutch on and Angle fights it. Angle gets to his feet and gets a 2 count, but Austin has kept the clutch on. Hebner checks the arm, but it doesn't drop 3 times. Austin spilled to the outside. He gets back in and hits a stunner for a 2 count, and Austin and the crowd can't believe it. An Angle chant goes out. Angle blocks another stunner attempt and hits the Angle slam. He gets a 2 count. Angle gets the ankle lock on, but Austin was at the ropes and grabbed them. Austin hits Hebner. The crowd boos. Angle hits the DDT. Referee Mike Chioda comes down and Angle gets a 2 count. Austin hits a low blow to Angle and then takes Chioda out with a stunner. Austin goes out and grabs his belt and brings it into the ring. Referee Tim White comes in and stops Austin from hitting Angle with the belt, and White gets hit instead. Angle hits an Angle slam and covers Austin. Referee Nick Patrick comes down and starts to count and then disqualifies Austin for abusing the officials. Angle is pissed. He hits Patrick and puts the ankle lock on Patrick. Angle is dejected. JR is pissed about the whole thing. Flashback to what led to the next match, WCW World Heavyweight Championship match. Booker T with Shane McMahon versus The Rock. Booker and Shane out first. Rock gets a great ovation when he comes out. The bell rings and they attack each other right away. Shane gets up on the apron. Rock reverses an Irish whip attempt, and Booker runs into Shane. Rock hits a Samoan drop on Booker. Booker comes back with a knee to the abdomen. He then chops Rock in the corner. Rock with a clothesline and gets a 2 count. Booker with a sidekick for a 2 count. Back and forth. Booker thrown to the outside. Rock runs Booker into the announce table. Rock then low blows Booker onto the table. Booker runs Rock into the barricade. Booker runs Rock into the crowd. Booker clotheslines Rock down. Booker stomps Rock down. He throws Rock back to ringside. They fight in front of the announce table, and Rock ran into a ring post. Shane up on an apron and looks to be loosening the turnbuckle pad. Both wrestlers get in and trade blows. Booker hits a sidekick for a 2 count. Booker drops a knee on Rock. He then hits a flying forearm for a 2 count. Booker with a rear chin lock. Referee Charles Robinson checks the arm, but it doesn't fall 3 times. The Rock comes back with a sharpshooter. Shane gets up on the apron, and Rock gets up and knocks him off, only to get hit with a thrust kick from Booker. Booker gets a 2 count. Booker catapults into the loosened turnbuckle, and Rock gets a DDT for a 2 count. Shane puts a chair in the ring and grabs the WCW title. Booker goes for the chair, but Robinson takes it away, allowing Shane to hit Rock with the WCW title. The APA come out, and Bradshaw hits Shane with the clothesline from hell. Robinson throws them out. Booker hits the bookend for a 2 count. Back and forth. The Rock with a flurry of offense for a 2 count. The Rock hits a spine buster and the people's elbow, but Shane pulls Robinson off before the 3 count. Rock hits Shane with the rock bottom. Booker hits a spine buster and the scissor kick. He does the spinaroonie, but runs into the rock bottom from The Rock, who gets the pin and becomes the new WCW champion. The Rock holds the championship belt up and celebrates as they sign off from San Jose. Final thoughts. The last 2 matches were good, but you can tell they don't know how to do this angle. You can follow me on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram at TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or your preferred podcast app. I would really appreciate it. We can also be found on Spotify and YouTube. Just search for The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you for joining me. This is Joey saying so long from the heart of Virginia.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.